Hey everyone, today I want to show you how to make my die cable, and some of my patterns that might be known, my older patterns known as a mini cable, but now it's a die cable, DI, because it consists of two post stitches. So the first thing you want to do is start off with a chain. Let's see what I've got here, because we're going to go along with the swatches that I have been making, kind of keeping the same familiarity. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, yep. Chain 11, and then go on and make a chain 2 loop in the second chain from the hook. Now, just in case you don't know, a chain 2 loop consists of a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, all in the same stitch. And if you're not really absolutely clear and need a little more guidance with that, I do have another video of how to make a chain 2 loop stitch. So do a chain 2 loop in your second chain from the hook, and then skip the next chain, and then we're going to do another chain 2 loop. And skip the next chain and then double crochet in each of the next 2 chains. 1, 2, and then skip the next chain and do a chain 2 loop, skip the next chain and do a chain 2 loop in your last one. So it's single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, all in the same stitch or space. Okay, chain 2 loop in the last. Alright, chain 1, and then we're going to turn. And this is what it looks like so far. So we're going to work into the chain 2 space of our chain 2 loop and work another chain 2 loop. Actually going to work that in each of the first 2. So chain 2 loop in the first chain 2 loop and chain 2 loop and the second chain 2 loop. And we're going to back post around each of our next 2 double crochets. Now if you don't know how to do a back post or a front post, I do have videos on that, so go on and take a look at those. I'm going to chain 2 loop in the next one, and chain 2 loop in the last one. And this is just a setup. Do your chain 1 and turn. This is just to get the setup so that way I'm going to show you how to do our die cable. Okay, so here you can see our post stitches, and on each side we have 2 chain 2 loops. So let's work a chain 2 loop in each of our first 2, just like that. Alright, now we're going to go in to make our die cable. Now a die cable can consist of 2 front post trebles or 2 front post double crochets. I'm just going to use front post double crochets. So yarn over once, skip the first post stitch, and you're going to make a front post around the second post stitch. Just like that. Now working over this front post double crochet made, yarn over. Now notice that my hook is always oriented the same way. I'm not doing any kind of funky movements or anything here. Just want to keep it always the same way, and because I'm right-handed, it's always going to be facing that direction. So bring it down, and I'm going to insert my hook from right to left because I'm right-handed. If you're left-handed, your hook will be going left to right. So go right to left. Now you see my hook is still the same orientation. Pull it through. Again, it's the same orientation. And take off 2. And then take off 2. That's your die cable. And it doesn't look like much yet. Let's do a few more. So chain 2 loop in your next chain 2 loop, and in the last one. Okay, chain 1, and then we're going to turn. And here's what it looks like on the other side, nice and smooth. I really love this chain 2 loop stitch. So chain 2 loop in our first chain 2 loop, chain 2 loop in our second chain 2 loop, and then work a back post around each of the next 2 post stitches. Now the last one you made will be the first one you make your post stitch, your back post double crochet around. So since this one was my last one made, this is the post stitch right here, then I'm going to work my back post around. And you can kind of turn and peek over. And see, it's right there because it's the first one that appears on the back side. The first one that's next in line. Just just like that. Okay, work your back post, yarn over, and then work. Now if it's buried, you just might have to pull it out a little bit. Back post around the next one, just like that. Take off 2, take off 2, and then chain 2 loop in each of your last 2, just like that. Okay, chain 1 and then turn. Now we're going to do it again. We're going to repeat the same as before. Work a chain 2 loop in each of your first 2 chain 2 loops, just like that. Skip the first one and work a front post double or front post treble, depending on your pattern, around that one. And then working over this one that we just made, we want a front post double or front post treble around the skipped one. So I want to yarn over once because I'm doing front post doubles. Go around that skipped one, grab it up, take off 2, take off 2. And then I'm going to chain 2 loop in each of my last 2 chain 2 loops. Just like that. Chain 1. And it just makes this neat little cable, and I can continue up and continue with this stitch pattern. Alright, I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions.